Hey, it's Adele from Let's Get Inky, and we're diving back into the Traveler's Notebook today. I wanted to put these photos next because they kind of went with the same day as the previous spread. And I had these four photos collage printed together, so they were all 2 by 3 inches. Yes, 2 by 3. And then I had these two, which were Archie and Ben just jumping around and having an absolute ball together. This little one, there was a lot of empty space in the photo, so I just decided to make it a bit smaller because I am playing with a smaller real estate on my Traveler's Notebook spread as opposed to typical like scrapbook layouts that I'm more used to. And I decided for something different. I was going to cut all of these collage photos apart, but I decided to do them in one giant photo strip down the side. And this insert is rounded cornered. Round. It has rounded corners. That's the better way how to say it. And so I just stuck them as close as I could to the edge and then just went back and trimmed the back of the page to make it round like the rest of the page. That didn't make any sense. I rounded the corners. After I stuck the photos down, I rounded the corners. That's the easier way to say that. So I stuck these photos down first. Obviously, it's the first thing that I always do is do the photos first, and then I go through the embellies and see if there's any like giant stickers I want to use, or if I want to do use like a journaling card as a tip in, any of the big elements. And then I'll usually go and do my brush lettering next. So I've got my very subtle small scissors, my 6-inch long giant scissors as I refer to them. I get a lot of questions about them, and I bought them years ago. So, Violet's very excited in the background if you can hear her. I bought them from Officeworks probably about 8 years ago, maybe even actually before that, maybe 9 or 10 years ago. And I haven't been able to find them since, but they are very, very handy, and I don't know, I find it easier to cut fiddly things with giant scissors. And I know I'm in the minority of crafters there because most people I see use little dainty fussy cutting scissors. And yes, I'm still in my pajamas as I was filming this video. I had a pajama day. Well, we've reached winter here, peeps, and look, I can't really talk. Yesterday I think was 20 degrees. So today is cold. Today I think is 13 Celsius, which is chilly for me. And it was just a pajama all day. This is a good question for you because I like to ask questions to see if you think along the same lines as me, or if you're on the other side of thinking. What's your favorite thing to craft in? Are you the type of person that has to get fully dressed so that you feel motivated and can get some crafting done? Or do you like to get comfy and laze around in PJs and craft in your comfiest clothes? I am definitely of the latter, most definitely, as you can see in this video. So this one, the photos didn't quite meet the top. There was probably about 2 millimeters difference right at the top, and it was driving me a bit crazy. So I'm glad I had a sticker that I could put there. I'm using a lot of pieces for this video and for the next Journal With Me video, which you'll see in a few days, from a Chamel collection. I don't know the name of it, but it had lots of dinosaurs in it and lots of bright colours, so I thought that was perfect for this page. Really trying to use up a couple of half-used sticker sheets from my stash as well, and I find that I'm more comfortable using up stickers in my Traveler's Notebook. I think because I feel like I can go a bit more sticker mad and stick and plonk as many things as I possibly can, whereas with a scrapbook page I feel like it needs a little bit more calmness. I don't know why that is, because realistically, they're very similar. They're photos on paper with stickers. But for some reason in my head, I've categorized them into two different styles and processes. Yeah, it's a strange thing, isn't it, when we use the same suppliers for different types of paper crafting, but we do them in completely different ways. I really wanted to use this Magical Forest, but the colours just didn't match. The colours are very subdued and of more of a muted tone, and this layout was definitely all about the brightness. I realised at this point I had a lot of words, a lot of coloured blocks with white capital letter text, and so I needed something different. So I'm going through some of these half-used sticker sheets, and I don't know if you can hear in the background, but Violet has discovered this new sound that is a bit like a pterodactyl, and she's just had a feed, and she is very excitedly letting her pterodactyl out. So if you do hear that in the background, I'm sorry. She's hanging out with Aaron while he's working at the moment. But her voice is, well, she has her brother to have as a role model, so her voice is getting louder and louder as she listens more and more to him and his examples. I added some washi tape down the bottom. I've got these little washi tape sheets from Jane Davenport, and I want to use them up because they don't store well outside of their packaging. I find that the washi tape peels out really easily, and I want to get them used instead of putting them back in my containers. I want to get them done. I'm using a Tombow dual brush marker to do a little bit of a title, and those circles that I stuck down, the blue circles with the coloured bits and pieces on them, are one of my first Inky Quill Patreon printables from almost 3 years ago, and I recently found them when I moved, so I've been using them on a few different projects. You've probably seen them popping up, and I think I've only got maybe one more circle to use, and then I'm going to use the background for an upcoming art journal video, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I always, you guys, if you've watched my journal with me videos, and we're up to number 43 now, so if you've stumbled on this video, there's lots more journal with me videos to give you a bit of inspiration to use your traveler's notebooks. But I always like to outline my brush lettering with my Pilot G207 pen. I unfortunately realized that some of these stickers were already coming up, which isn't a good sign. So I don't know if I'm going to go back and maybe use a glue stick or some double-sided tape just to give them a bit of extra adhesive, especially these ones near the spine. And this Traveler's Notebook insert isn't thick already. It's still quite it's quite thin, and they're already lifting up. So that's a bit of a red flag for me. So I'll have to go in and do a little bit of adhesive surgery later on. Adding some gelling, and I always try to speed up the writing so you don't have to watch me write forever. But I really have been enjoying doing writing in different rotations, so doing some vertical, some horizontal, especially when I have two text spots that are right next to each other but on separate pages, so I don't want the writing to fall into each other and be misread. So instead of writing down horizontally on the left side and the right hand side, the sentences might run into each other, and I don't like that, so I usually just swap and do one of them the opposite way, so they definitely can't get mixed up. I had this little awkward space up the top, so I just put so many laughs and then added a few little stars. I felt like it needed some little sprinkly bits because this purple mammoth was so purple and big, but it was the exact color of Ben's shirt, and I had to use it because it's not a shade that I typically use a lot in scrapbooking. Is that violet? I think that's violet. I'm not quite sure what color violet is. I know it's some sort of purple. But thanks for watching today, peeps. I hope you enjoyed this little Traveler's Notebook video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you've been enjoying the marathon so far, and I'll see you very soon. Bye. Goodness.